still running all that long. So yes, you want me to put it back in.
I forgot about moving this stuff.
You want to take it up?
I'll get it.
Okay.
Matt Reed, go ahead and start it.
What? Oh, the mystery? It is. It was, I thought it went very well. I was pleased with the fact that I didn't work less. I mean, they make it pretty idiot. The only reason I made a gunshot is because I was improvising. They did not in any of their writing say to make a gunshot, and I did. And it turned out the person wasn't shot, so they didn't need a gunshot. So it's just a truck backfiring that happened right at the same time as the murder. At the moment? Okay. Oh, great. Now you're gonna think it's me. Anyway, I'm glad you liked it. It's gonna be an
Okay, so Sandra is doing that. And okay, so you'll announce her. Okay, that's great. Glad I don't have to do it.
Howdy, everybody. Matt, am I unmuted? Okay. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Let's stand for our opening song.
Why do I have my badge? I have my work badge on. Because I habitually put it on when I get in my car. That's.
Matt, my turn. There we go. All right.
Love, 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 love.
Nothing you can do can't be done.
Nothing you can sing that can't be sung.
Nothing you can say, but you can't learn how to play the game.
It's easy. I want to hear some horn sections here coming out. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love.
Nothing you can make can't be made.
Nothing you can see that can't be shown.
Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time.
It's easy.
All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need.
All you need is love. All you need.
All you need is love.
All you need is love. Love.
Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
Love is all.
Love is all you need.
Yesterday.
Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Love is all you need.
She loves you, yeah.
Love is all you need.
Yeah, yeah.
She loves.
She loves you.
Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Yeah.
I think we skipped the last verse, didn't we?
We did something weird. That's all right. Go with it.
Weird, that's not us. All right, say good morning to each other.
There's another verse. There's another verse.
I think we went from the first verse into the chorus and forgot to do the second verse, and then we went to the third verse, and we all skipped two verses.
All right, class, we're getting started. Let's find our seats. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! Hey, isn't peer pressure great? Just kidding. All right. Welcome to Unity of Flagstaff, where all are welcome. And if you're a first-time visitor, please fill out a blue info card and drop it in the basket later, or return to a greeter. We'd love to get in touch with you. We'll take you out to coffee and chat. Just get to know you. And hey, it's great. We got kids in the room today. Let's do a round of applause for that. We're here to support you in affirmative prayer. We got 4 ways to pray. You can ask a prayer partner. If you're in the room, raise your hand, prayer partners. Prayer partners will be at the Serenity Room after service. You can call 1-800-NOW-PRAY. They're open 24/7, unlike our government. Prayer box. Michael, if you'll please. Go ahead. Yeah, you. Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Nice job, Anna. Honestly, I don't look at any of them.
Yeah, perfect. And we'll hold any prayer requests that go to the box in consciousness for 30 days, and they will be confidential with the prayer team. And you can contact the center here at 928-526-8893. All right, before we start our regularly scheduled program, I'm going to invite up Helen for a moment. And if you notice when you came in today, there's a magnet on each one of your seats, and we'll have Helen tell you what that's for.
This is all very exciting. You might recall that I'm co-chair of the search team. Remember that group? And so we are reassembled, and I wanted to let you know what we were up to. So there are 4 things. Number 1, as we met, we said, maybe we have to release our hope that Sabrina Johnson was going to be our next minister. We all loved her, but when she fell, that created a health situation that's just going to take her some time to overcome. So she can't be making commitments to us, and we can't be making commitments to her. It's time for us to release and refocus. And so on your seats are those wonderful little magnets, thanks to Dawn DeFord, who put these together and brought them to us. And so we're going to refocus on our new minister. So I'd like us all to say together, if you got your magnet, you know exactly what you're going to say. So you do have to get it off your seat. All right? We are attracting the best new minister for Unity of Flagstaff, who leads and inspires us to the next phase of spiritual growth and service. So put it on your refrigerator or your car mirror or wherever it works for you, and remind yourself of that. Maybe even say it out loud a couple times, and we'll do that here at the service too. Number 3 was we need to refamiliarize ourselves, the search team. What was it we wanted in a minister? So that's what the search team is starting to refocus on. You never saw it, but the packet's about this thick that we had to put together for Unity. And we said a lot of things, responses from the community. We want to get that fresh in our mind so we're ready for the right person. And the last thing was try to take advantage of all the services Unity Worldwide Ministries has. One of those is they'll do a focus on the church. It's like a special time on their newsletter that goes all around. the country and focuses on a particular church. And so we're going to do that in this spring because we know holiday time isn't a good time for people to look at these things. And they also have a list of folks who like to be considered. They haven't said we have to go to a certain part of the country. And so we said, okay, we'll look at that. And sure enough, no sooner do you ask Spirit than we have a name already. So things are happening. That's my report.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program. Let's invite up Steve Huffman for opening prayer. He's a musician, prayer partner, Elvis impersonator, and our friend. Come on up.
Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to join me in an opening prayer, and if it's comfortable for you, close your eyes, please. So let's know together that each one of us has within us a light, a joy that is Spirit, the one life, and that we don't have to look here and there and everywhere for it, that it's always available within us to light our way. So it is. So, does anyone have a gratitude or a prayer request that they would like to share? And Marilyn has a mic for you.
I would just like to express my gratitude for everyone who helped get Peter Mayer here this last Friday. Oh my God. Raise your hand if you came and saw him. He was phenomenal. And so thank you to Gary, and thank you to Ryan Biter, and thank you to Selena for hosting him, and Sean for helping to put all that together. Just a great event, and I want to do more of that. I mean, he's just a great musician.
Yeah, that was wonderful. And we knew a couple of the songs that he sang, so we sang right along.
I have 2 gratitudes and a prayer request. I have a gratitude that unfortunately I missed the Peter Mayer concert, but I did get to go away for the weekend and relax and have a good time, and I still know how to do that despite all the work that I've been up to for a very long time. I also have a gratitude that my mom is coming for the week of Thanksgiving, and it will be the first time I've seen her in a long time. First time she's been to Arizona in over 30 years. So I'm excited about that. However, I have, since her partner Roger died in June, which some of you folks remember, she's on a tighter budget. So finding her a place to stay has been something that I've been working on. So if anyone knows someone who might be out of town and needs a lovely, wonderful woman to water their plants and bring good energy into their home while they're out of town, please let me know.
All right. Well, we celebrate those things with you and know that the right home is available for your mom when she comes out for Thanksgiving.
I have a... Okay. I can't hear myself. I have a prayer request for Donna Russell, one of our members here, who is not doing too well today, or she would have been here. And she asked for prayers for her healing.
All right. So I know for Donna that there is healing and wholeness and energy for her to move forward.
I am beginning a new job in a few weeks. I've been out of work, and I'm praying. I want you to pray with me that I'm moving in the right direction. Also, my daughters are professors at NEU, and they're at the end of the semester and are trying to hold on tight and shine their brightest light while not getting consumed with grading and keeping everyone motivated. So I just want to send out prayers to them to get through to the end of the semester with a smile on their face.
Okay, and your name is Justine. Okay. Okay. All right, so let's know together that Justine is moving in the direction that's best for her and her new job, and that she's thriving and participating in that, and that her daughters, Erica and Lexi, are finishing up the semester with ease and grace and moving into the next one. Anybody else? Bob.
Yes, about Friday, our sister-in-law passed on, and we'd like to celebrate Jean's life, and at the same time, look to be supportive to my brother, who is 83 and has been married for 56 years. So it will be a big change for him.
Yeah, it's always a hard thing to go through when somebody passes. So let's hold Bob and his brother in peace and support for them and their whole family. Charlotta as well. Okay, I guess that's it.
Thank you, Steve. I guess we'll make a light gratitude here. How many of you are thankful for the smoke from the control burns this week? I'm going to say I am, because I can use it as an excuse for me missing slides in the show this morning. You know, it's hard working through brain fog, especially when you're allergic to all the smoke that's been drifting into town. But hey, I'll take that over a massive wildfire any day. So, with that in mind, let me invite up Sandra McFarland. She's our PA today.
All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to go ahead and start with Unity Principle number 4. Go ahead and say it with me. Prayer and meditation keep us aligned with the one great power in the universe. And the short version, let me try that one again. Short version, I am one with the universe. Thank you so much. It is an honor today to be your PA. And what I was going to say completely changed as of this morning. I don't know about any of you, but this was one of those mornings where I just walked into in a cloud of thought, in a cloud of worry, in a cloud of disconnect, in a cloud of not knowing what to do. And I decided to walk because for me, when my brain is like that, nature helps. And as I walked and I realized I was walking to unity, and the only other time that I walked to unity was actually my very first time here. And it wasn't for this service, it was for another group that meets in the afternoons, because I am a recovering codependent alcoholic pothead. And I walked in. When I say I was lost this morning, it is like not being able to find my keys in the bottom of my purse versus where is my purse and where am I? And when I was able to immediately think of that moment, I walked in, I was about 4 days sober. I had for the last time making promises to my children that I would never drink again, only to find myself ridiculously drunk and ashamed of myself. And at that moment, I had to realize that everything that I knew about addiction was wrong, because I, previous to that, had been the wife of an alcoholic. And I thought if I loved him enough, if I was understanding enough, if I tried hard enough, I was going to fix it. Because all I wanted was that picture in my head of the happily ever after. And all I wanted was the version of that man who, when sober, was an amazing man. And when all of that fell apart, and when I gave an ultimatum of pick one, your whiskey or your wife, I, in my head, had already scripted the Hollywood ending, cue the doves and the violins, and he was going to pour it down the sink, and we'd live happily ever after. So when he packed up his suitcase and he disappeared, I had no idea what I was going to do. I had never narrated a life that didn't have another person in it. I had 2 young children that were still depending on me, and I had no clue. And it was many years that I had to play a pity party for myself and blame the entire world for the situation that I was in. And it got to a point where I wanted out. It hurt too much. And at that point, as a teacher for 30 years, as a mom, as a Girl Scout and leader and delegate, I knew that if I took that step, that would be my legacy. Everything I taught, everything I spoke, everything that I believed in would be erased with that final decision. And so I couldn't do that. But I didn't know what else to do. I now get to stand in front of people that would have absolutely terrified me years ago and speak my truth and become a lighthouse for anybody else that may be hitting the same rocks that I did, because I thought I could control everything, and I thought if I worked hard enough when things spun out of control, that if I just did more, I could fix it. And thankfully, I had to become a ridiculous addict because there is no control here. We control what we do, we control what we say, we control what we think. And then everything else is running apart from us every time we think that we're apart from it. I get to stand in this room in front of you telling the things that I was most ashamed of. The first time I walked in, the biggest fear that I had was, please don't let anybody see me. And the first person walked up and said, do you go to, named my elementary school? And I ran. Now I get to say, absolutely, that's me. And I get to tell them my story because I am not that person anymore, but that person lives in me because that person was hurting so bad. And that person looked outside of herself to find comfort. And unity helped me find it within me, because it doesn't come outside. It is so easy to get lost in everything that's happening outside. Lost in the questions of why I look around, everybody that I see in my world, and it's a pretty big world, is normal, calm, and wants love and peace, and I would go and want to give a hug to, but then we turn on the TV, and that's not the world that we're being told it is. And it's hard to get lost in that. But I also remember I'm not lost. I trust the process. I trust that everything is going to be okay. And I trust that the group of people that this universe has given me in unity are the people that I will walk through this with. And I will walk through it with them. And then I remember there is no lost. I am here, and that's all I have to be. In closing, I'd like to read the poem that came out of my first visit at Unity when I returned for the second time as a resident. I am often amazed by the paradoxical nature of life itself. When I am scrambling and exhausted to hold it all together, it all just falls apart more. But when I set it all down and I quit trying, I finally gain it back and so much more. When I always kept the lights on to illuminate the path ahead, I kept finding nothing but darkness. But in the darkest of my nights, never feeling more lost, did I find the sunlight of the Spirit. When thoughts and feelings overwhelmed me, I sought shelter from the storm. But when I walked straight into the storm, the clouds of worries just dissipated. When I reassure myself, I've got this, I'm never in more dire straits. When I tell myself to just let go, do I finally find my true power. When I gave all my love to others, I was left with nothing but empty. But when I filled myself with love, I have so much more to give. The harder and stronger I put up a fight, the spiritual casualties only grew. But when I fully surrendered, I found a new definition of victory. When I looked for the truth, I found nothing but lies and deceit. When I faced all the lies that I told to the mirror, did I discover the ultimate truth. When I turned away and hid from all that terrified me, I became even more scared. When I stepped trembling into the fear itself, I discovered it was nowhere to be found. When I felt most protected, I was never more in danger. When I embraced all the things that would kill me, I've never been so safe. When I searched for connection within others, I became endlessly delusioned and detached. But when I searched for genuine and unmasked me, did I finally find unity and the essence of the divine. Thank you very much for sharing this moment with me.
Thank you for that. Next, it's my privilege to invite up Matt Devlin for this next song. We haven't seen Matt in a while, but how's it feel being back, sir?
Good. I've been sweltering. This feels really
good.
Good. If you're paying for it, I am. Sandra, that was beautiful. Thank you. If you know the words to this, don't hesitate to jump in. We have felt the chill. I'm going to start on the first verse instead of the second. Let me try. Every now and then this world can swallow you alive, break you down a little at a time. If we were merely sheep, we would be theirs to keep, but hand in hand we will make a stand. And we'll light this world from the inside out. We'll leave the fear and darkness behind. And it's just a subtle glow that grows one soul at a time. For keep the faith, we'll light this world from the inside out. If we keep the faith, we'll light this world from the inside out. And we have felt the chill of an ill will blowing in. Puppet master, he spins his empty lies. And if we were merely sheep, we would be theirs to keep. But hand in hand, we will make a stand. And we'll light this world from the inside out. We'll leave the fear and darkness behind. And it's just a subtle glow that grows one soul at a time. For keep the faith, we'll light this world from the inside out. If we keep the faith, we'll light this world from the inside out. And a book by its cover, the gender of our lover and the color of our skin is not a sin. So put the hate away, we don't need it here today. And we can't do this one more time. So we'll light this world from the inside out. We'll leave the fear and darkness behind. And it's just a subtle glow that grows one soul at a time. For keep the faith, we'll light this world from the inside out. If we keep the faith, we'll light this world from the inside out.
Someone could get the lights, please. I think I'm good. Turn on his lav.
Take just a few moments to ground ourselves in a short meditation in a spirit of gratitude as we enter this season of gratitude. So if, with your feet flat on the floor and the energy flowing through your body into the earth and from the earth back into you, take a deep breath and let everything just go. Shake off the fear, shake off the anxiety, shake off the worry of all those things that you don't control. And I want you to take a moment to go back in time into your own life, into a time where you were struggling and needed somebody else. We all need others at times in our life. And I believe that all of us have had someone who at some point has reached out and made a difference in our life by believing in us and helping us to see that, helping us to believe in ourselves. So take a moment and go back and find a time, no matter how small, how insignificant it might have seemed at the time, but go back to that moment that made such a difference. I want you to see that person that made the difference. Visualize them. Regardless of where they are, if they're still on this plane or if they've moved on to another plane, let's send our gratitude to them, knowing that they will feel it, knowing that they will feel your energy. I would encourage you to take every opportunity, if that person is still on this plane, to find them and make sure they know the difference you've made. But if you're unable to do that, I know the message that you're sending them now will be received. Let's come back into the room. If someone would get the lights for us. Can we turn the lights back on? I would like to take just a couple minutes before our message and just have some sharing. It's nearly Thanksgiving time. So do we have anyone that would like to share a little bit about someone who in their life made a difference, Marilyn? Does someone...
I started looking at that moment when you asked about that. And when I was 8 years old, I had been raised by a family, not my mother or father. And my mother married a man, and suddenly I had new parents and a brother and a sister. And I didn't like it. I missed the people that had been my parents. And I ran away. And I think they told me I got about almost a mile before they found me. And my new father came up and he picked me up, and I was kicking him. Put me down, I want to go. And he wrapped his arms around me and he said, everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be all right. That man saw me through a time in my life that was so rough. He was a wonderful dad. He was the kind of dad that would come home and he'd go, hey, Lynn, that was my nickname. He'd say, how about we go water skiing instead of you going to school today? This man made a huge difference in my life, and I love him with all my heart, and he's been gone for a long time now.
And I'm sure he hears your message. Marcia.
Oh, please. No, I've never heard that before. The funny thing is I didn't really watch TV before I moved to Flagstaff. And everybody said, saying Marcia, and I'm going, what? Somebody helped me with the name of Eve, who was our Eve Watson. Made a tremendous difference in my life. She taught a course that was sort of Buddhism in disguise. And she taught me that I didn't have to react to situations. I could separate myself from them and remain calm. And so, that was a time when I was in a marriage that was kind of in trouble. And just that ability to release and be empty in the face of external circumstances was so valuable. Eve, I love you still.
Beautiful. Beautiful, Marcia. We have one more.
So many years ago, when I was beginning my Waldorf teacher training, I was teaching, working a job on the weekends, and caring for my grandpa at the end of his life. And somehow managing to do all of these things. And one of my teachers in the Waldorf teacher training took one look at me and saw, no matter how well I thought I was holding it together, that I needed help. And her name is Ann Stahl. We are still in touch to this day. And when I have needed her, she has shown up without asking questions and has allowed me to give voice to things that are very hard to say to anyone. And I thank her for her listening and for her wisdom and for allowing me to go through what I needed to go through and giving me a whole lot of grace for that.
All right. I would just encourage you to take a moment before the week's over and do the same thing in reverse for yourself. Think about a time when you've been there for somebody else and you made a difference in their life, and send gratitude to yourself. And I know some of you, we have teachers in the room, they've made that difference in hundreds and hundreds of lives. But take time to celebrate that and share that, because the difference you make, well, we're going to get into it in my talk here. But first we have a song.
Matt, can you mute his loud? Oh, oops, I missed my cue. There we go.
They say love is a heart attack. I say, girl, what's wrong with that? Don't hold me down, I'm stepping out. Out on the edge where life gets real. Out on the edge where the heart can feel. And I don't care if it all goes south. Love comes around when we live out loud. What do they say about that? What do they say about that? They say put your money away, save it for a rainy day. But that's not me, I'm stepping out. Out on the edge where life gets real. Out on the edge where the heart can feel. And I don't care if it all goes south. Love comes around when we live out loud. What do they say about that? What do they say about that? They say, I don't care what they say. They say, who are they anyway? They say, who are they anyway? And I don't care if it all goes south. Love comes around when we live out loud. What do they say about that? What do they say about that? So I need you guys to sing a line for me. And just keep it going. Love comes around when we live out loud. Love comes around when we live out loud. Love comes around when we live out loud. Keep it going. They say, I don't care what they say. They say, I don't care what they say. They say, I don't care what they say. Love comes around when we live out loud. Love comes around when we live out loud. Our talk today, I think I lost it.
I'll let him get adjusted. Today's guest speaker is Matt Devlin, up from the south, and this will probably be the last time we see you before the spring, right?
Probably the last time until spring. Ouch! So, living out loud, we just had it. But living out loud means different things to different folks. And for some folks, they're the life of the party. And they're literally loud. I won't mention any names. For others of us, though, living out loud means maybe dropping a note to an old friend that you hadn't seen in a long time. Or helping someone carry packages out the door. It's different for all of us, based on your life circumstances, based on your personality, based on just all kinds of things. Living out loud means different things. But, you know, Sandra, her poem today really made me think, gosh, that's, when she steps into the light, the darkness, all of a sudden she's not afraid of it. That's living out loud. So the ability to, and there were so many great examples. I wish I had a recorder on, because I would have used all those. It was just good. But it's the idea that we're oftentimes afraid of those things that we just haven't stepped into yet. So living out loud, they're really, it's easy to turn off, especially at my age. Sometimes I just think, you know what, I can just stay at home for this week and not go out, not do anything, just hide my heart away. And sometimes it's incredibly easy to do that. But it's doing an injustice to ourselves, and it's doing an injustice to the people who we can impact if we go out there and live out loud, whatever that looks like for us. So I want to tell a story this morning of a gentleman by the name of Ray Hinton. And Ray Hinton grew up in Alabama, went to high school, was a good student, a good kid, played baseball. He batted .618 on his baseball team. He played third base, and he was just a star. However, he was African American growing up in Alabama. And at that time, he didn't get a scholarship. He didn't get a chance to do what it was he loved. But he got a job working in the coal mine, where his daddy had worked and died in the coal mine. And he got a job, and he went to work. And he was living at home with his mom, taking care of his mom and helping out. And one day on a hot Tuesday afternoon, he was mowing the lawn, thinking about the lemonade his mom was making in the house. And two gentlemen appeared, and he turned the lawnmower off and looked up and said, "Can I help you?" And they said, "We're here looking for Ray Hinton." And he said, "Well, that's me. How can I help you?" He said with a smile, because that's how he greeted everybody. And they said, "Well, we're here to arrest you." And he said, "Arrest me? For what?" And they said, "Well, we can't tell you that right now, but what we'd like you to do is put your hands behind your back." And so he complied, put his hands behind his back, and they took him to his car. And he began struggling a little bit, saying, "Can I at least go tell my mother? Can I at least let my mother know what's going on?" And so the two detectives stopped and said, "Okay, well, and they walked him in, explained to the mom that they're taking him into custody. And they put him in the car, and they drove off. And Ray became agitated because he didn't know why he was being arrested. He didn't understand what was going on. And he kept asking, "Why are you arresting me? What are the charges? I don't understand. What is this about?" Finally, one of the detectives lost his cool and turned around and said, "You're being arrested for kidnapping, aggravated assault, and robbery." And he said, Ray Hinton was stunned. And he said, "Well, when was this crime?" And the detective told him the date and the time of the crime, and he broke down crying and praising Jesus because he had been at work that day. And his boss had been with him. And his boss was white. Therefore, would be a credible witness for him. So he begged the detectives to go talk to his boss, and they put him in a holding cell. And they left and went to talk to his boss. And they came back 5 hours later and told him, "We're not going to charge you with those crimes." And he felt this relief sweep over him. And they said, "But we are charging you with double murder." And he said, I don't understand. My mom raised me. I would never hurt anybody. This can't be me. And he again became agitated and was, in his own words, belligerent to the detectives. And one of the detectives aggressively asked him to stop talking and told him, I'm going to give you the 5 reasons why you will go to jail. You will be convicted. 1, you're a black man. 2, it's going to be a white judge. 3, it's going to be a white prosecutor. 4, it's going to be a white jury. And 5, your lawyer is going to be white. When the verdict came down a couple months later, and the guilty verdict was read, Ray Hinton and multiple other witnesses heard the prosecutor say, and I won't use the word, but it's the N word, so you can fill in. The prosecutor stood up and said, well, we got the wrong, but at least we got a sorry. My wife and I had a chance to go Thursday night of this week to the Arizona Speaker Series and watch Ray Hinton speak. He was good. Ray Hinton spent 30 years on death row for crimes he didn't commit, with absolutely no evidence. So, his first 3 years on death row, Ray Hinton did not speak. Did not say a word. Even when his mother would come visit, he didn't talk. He didn't speak. But one night, about 3 years in, he heard the inmate in the next cell over weeping, a grown man weeping. And Ray had been raised by his mom to have compassion for every human. So after a few minutes of listening to this, he couldn't help himself, and he went to the bars and leaned out and asked if he was okay and if there was anything that he could do. And a couple hours later, after a long conversation turned counseling session, Ray Hinton realized he had something to live for still. And he spent the next 27 years building a life, a full life, a life of compassion, a life of joy. Every morning, Ray Hinton would wake up on death row from that point on, and he would say, "Good morning, death row." After the first couple times of doing it, one of the other inmates said to him, "Man, why are you doing that? You know they're going to kill us. Why are you doing this?" And Ray said, "Today, right now, I'm alive. I have something to live for. And so do you." Ray began to live. He started a book club. He started a library. Many of the prisoners on death row, very few of them actually could read. Ray and another one of the gentlemen could read, and so he began teaching inmates to read. He began counseling inmates. He built a community of people that he said was a brotherhood tighter than anything he'd ever known, where there was no discrimination. It wasn't about the color of your skin. You were a brother. If you were in that cell block, you were a brother. One of the people he made friends with and became actually his best friend in prison came in as a 19-year-old young man who had been ordered by his father, who also happened to be the president of the Ku Klux Klan in Alabama, to go and kill the first black man he encountered because they were upset, and upset's probably not the word, they were enraged because a black man had been exonerated and allowed to walk free for crimes he didn't commit. So they went and they found the first black man and they killed him. strung him up in the middle of the street, cut off his genitals, and left him to hang. So that man and Ray were next door to each other for 15 years. And they began to have conversations. And slowly, they developed bonds. They both had mothers they loved. Both of their mothers became ill. The young man's mother actually died, came to the prison to visit and died in the visiting room. Ray counseled him. They became very tight. And when he was ordered to be executed, he asked for Ray to be the person that was with him the last 24 hours, that shared the last dinner, that just spent went through all the rituals until they walked to the chamber. Ray didn't just stop there. He began counseling the guards, the very guards that were guarding them and keeping them in prison. He became very good friends with the warden. He became someone that everybody there looked up to. And eventually somebody, somewhere, saw his case as a case that made no sense. There was no evidence, and they were able to get him freed. Ray now is spending his life working on the death penalty because obviously it's near and dear to his heart that there are people that are imprisoned under the wrong circumstances. And so he's fighting that. But the story of Ray Hinton and the life he led, the joy he had, the stories he told had us laughing. And yet you could see the pain in him. He's been 10 years, he's been free for 10 years now. And he still is choking up telling the story of what it was like in that prison. But you can just see the love and the joy that he had for the folks that were there in that prison. Now, when he got out, they walked him out and said, "You can go now." There was no ride. He had no money. He had no family. His brothers were all passed. His mother was passed. He had one friend on the outside. Tough, but he still sees the world with this picture of joy. So the point of the story, sorry for a long roundabout way, is that how is it possible that I can want to shut myself away and not share my heart, not want to live out loud, to live a life of purpose, when someone who's been through what Ray Hinton has done, lived in a 5x7 cell for 30 years, and lived a full life? So how is it that I can want to lock myself away and say, I'm just going to stay in today. I'm not going to go out and share. I'm not going to be a vibrant. I'm not going to face the darkness. Because sometimes when we go out there, it's scary. Sometimes people aren't nice. Sometimes things don't go the way you want. But it's just like Sanders' poem. If we step into the darkness, there's where we find the light. So I just ask you to live out loud, to try to find ways to help others. And remember that no matter what our circumstances are, since Thursday night, there's been 3 or 4 times my wife and I looked at each other and went, Ray Hinton. Because our toilets are backing up in the house. And we can't figure out, we're thinking, this is terrible. And then we think, 5x7 cell. Probably didn't even have a toilet. Or I don't know. But we're upset about that, and we're not wanting to, so let the little things go. Take your chances to go out and celebrate. Everything that, I got to share one more story from Ray. Unity talks about our thoughts, words, and actions are all we control, and they end up creating our life. So the life we want to live is that life that we basically imagine. Well, Ray Hinton, for 30 years, was in a 5x7 cell. He didn't let it stop him. He traveled. He visited the Queen of England. They had tea together. He got married twice. to Halle Berry and Sandra Bullock, no less. He had a full life. You know, the one thing no one else can control is how we react to what's around us. So take a chance on life. Step out there, live it out loud. Namaste, my friends. Oh, I'm going to leave you with a song. I want to leave you with a song that actually it's a co-write, and a 10-year-old boy here in Flagstaff who I was teaching lessons to before I left had been starting a new song, and he struggled just like every songwriter about, well, what do I write, Matt? And I said, well, Jeremy, what's going on in your life? And he said, well, we had our first flag football game. And I said, well, how'd that go, Jeremy? He said, well, we got cooked 34-0, and they quit. They canceled it at halftime because we were behind so much. I said, well, that's a song. We could start there. So, but then shortly after Josie and I moved, as you know, things moved fast as we made a change in life plans, and that was our last lesson. So several times I've spoken to him, and I'm going to see him today, I hope, this afternoon. I kept asking him this summer, Jeremy, did you ever finish that song? Did you do something with that song? Oh, no, I haven't got anywhere with that. And I said, Jeremy, if you don't take that line, I'm going to take it. Because the only line he really had for the song is, sometimes you cook, sometimes you're cooked. So, and that's life. But if you don't go live out loud all those times that you could have been cooking, you're going to miss. So, all right, let's have a song. This is a tight fit. I definitely need to go on a diet. Well, she's fast, she's fast, she's fast, she's slow. Sometimes she spins out of control, and that's life, don't you know? Well, she takes you by the hand, she lifts you up, she knocks you to the ground, says get back up, and that's life, don't you know? Sometimes you cook, sometimes you're cooked. You can climb so high and lose your grip, but point yourself into the light. The shadows, they will surely fall behind, and the things you swore the world got wrong, the very things that make you strong. So have a little faith, it'll be alright. It's hard to see the light when you close your eyes. Have a little faith, it'll be alright, if you give it a little time. Well, I remember the cold December, the band's first gig, lost in a blender, and the stage felt just like a funeral fire. And the words to the song were long, long gone. We was hoping that the crowd might sing along, but the only one that knew the words to our songs was Jerry's mom. And she always gets it wrong. And sometimes you cook, sometimes you're cooked. You can climb so high and lose your grip, and point yourself into the light. The shadows, they will surely fall behind, and the things you swore the world got wrong, the very things that make you strong. So have a little faith, it'll be alright. It's hard to see the light when you close your eyes. Have a little faith, it'll be alright, if you give it a little time. And if you run out of words to say, then listen to what the heart has to say. And have a little faith, it'll be alright. It's hard to see the light, close your eyes. Have a little faith, it'll be alright, if we give it a little time. Sometimes you cook, sometimes you're cooked. You close your eyes and lose your grip, but point yourself into the light. The shadows, they will surely far behind in the things you swore the world got wrong. The very things that make you strong. So have a little faith, it'll be alright. Hard to see the light when you close your eyes. Have a little faith, it'll be alright. If we give it a little time. Thank you.
Let's prepare for our celebration of abundance. But real quick, I want to make a short announcement. I had to grab my props here. So Peter Mayer was here Friday. It was a great concert, and Peter, he's a great guy. He's real easy to bribe with breakfast. So I got a good update for you. Unity, as an institution, we have a copy of every one of his CDs. We'll have it in the Serenity Room. You can listen to it in the Serenity Room. If you borrow it, please let me know so we can get it back. But I just wanted to let you know that he graciously let us purchase these at a very, very big discount. So we do have these available. And we recorded the concert Friday night, and he would love it if we take clips from the recording of his songs and we incorporate them into our services. So you're going to start seeing that, where he was performing in our space in front of a live audience, and he's going to love it. So you'll be seeing that soon. I just wanted to share that announcement. Peter was really taken back by how much he meant to this community. You know, he was expecting 10 people to show up. We had a full room. We had 45 chairs out, and I think we had at least 40 filled easily. And he just could feel all the love and support in the room. And those of you that had one-on-one conversations afterwards, he just had a wonderful experience here. So anyways, he and I have exchanged information, and we're going to keep in touch, and maybe he'll come out west more frequently. We'll see. But he and I had a very, very good conversation at breakfast on Saturday morning, and so anyways, I just wanted to share that with everybody. And I'll show some pictures from the concert next week. I didn't get them up in time in the slides, smoke, brain fog, all that fun stuff. All right, let's bring up our baskets and our board basket blesser, Marilyn Chase. A round of applause.
Oh, wow. Hi. Ooh, I love looking at all of you. This is our board consciousness is abundance. And if you'll say this with me, we are an abundant and thriving community. Yeah? And here, our second board consciousness is the new minister. So we are attracting the best new minister for Unity of Flagstaff, who leads and inspires us into our next phase of spiritual growth and service.
All right, and then last one.
We release our limitation and give from abundance. We are abundant. Thank you, Spirit.
Go forth. I'll do it in a second. Okay, now let's go through ways to give. You can do cash or check. You can use our Zelle QR code. This works best if you have your banking app open. For anyone who wants to do that in real time, I'll leave it up for a little bit. That's officially our business name, even though we call ourselves Unity of Flagstaff Spiritual Center. This is that's just our legal name. We don't care about that. All right, next. If you want to send in gifts by snail mail, I love checking the P.O. box every week. Gives me an excuse to go downtown. P.O. Box 1740, Flagstaff, Arizona, 86002. All right, time for some announcements. Monday. Let's go to Flagstaff Family Food Center. We need one more volunteer at least, maybe two if you're feeling so gracious. There's a sign up out in the lobby, or let Selena know. And you could be one of these happy people in this picture. Unity Coffee Hour. K Patrol is sick at the moment, so we're still planning on doing this. If there's an update, I'll send out a special announcement. Oh, okay, Selena will host it. Never mind, Selena will host it. Perfect. Silent auction still going on. The sheets are over on the kitchen counter. Check them out. Food drive. If you'll look to my, let me have you scoot over a little bit, to my Trina, you're blocking the box. We have a lovely food drive box. Your board has committed to helping those in need, so if you want to bring canned goods, you can drop them off in this food box, and then I will take them to be dropped off at least once a week. If you'd rather give food towards a food drive, if you'd rather give money towards a food drive donation, just be sure and put it in your memo when you give it to us, and I'll make sure that it gets over to Flagstaff Family Food Center or the food bank, one of them, wherever we're taking the food that week. Pledge drive update. If I could get my Vanna White up here. Let's get, here, come out center. Let's show this on camera. Zoom in on this. So what we have here is a progress chart for our pledge drive. And you're going to love this. We have already reached 32% of our goal for 2026. And these pledges are just from your board. That is their commitment to you, Unity of Flagstaff. They've almost pledged at least a third of our budget. So let's give them a big round of applause. We're going to keep updating this. If you did not grab a pledge card last week, they are available. Selena has them. If you'd like one right now, just raise your hand and she'll bring you one. And I'll keep going through the announcements. Thank you, Sandra. We have our winter coat drive. Let's have you move out of the way, Hayden. We got another box, winter coat drive. If you want to drop off coats throughout the week, we'll be collecting those for a while. We don't have an end date yet, so just start bringing your coats and fill the box, and we'll get them to where they need to go. Unity Hiking Group, are you done? We are done. Okay, Unity Hiking Group is done, so yeah. Oh, come on, it's not snowing yet. Thanksgiving potluck. See Marcia for details. She's over here.
Yeah, go sign up sheet. And I think it ended up on that round table over by the counter where you go to get food after service.
There's a sign-up sheet on the round table. All right. Yes. Yes, Marcia.
Flagstaff Master Grill has a concert on the 15th. It's just going to be gorgeous. It's all Baroque music, a lot of which you haven't heard and should have. So it's the 15th and it's out at the airport.
Master Chorale concert on the 15th, and it'll be at the airport. What time?
It's going to be at 4 o'clock.
4 p.m. Okay, if you own a local business, you can advertise in our newsletter, and we'll also include you in the slides on Sunday. There's a pricing, $75 for 6 months, $120 for a full year. And here's our local business partners so far. We'd love to get you on here, so let me know. Website update. We're going at a snail's pace on the website. Please be patient with us. We got a lot going on, so... All right, and then if you could help us after service, we'd appreciate it. Now, if everyone will join us in saying this let's bless these baskets. Thank you for this bounty. Thank you for this community. Thank you for the good we do and will do. We are joy-filled, and so it is. All right, then please stand for our closing song. We're going to reprise All You Need Is Love.
Love, 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 love. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. 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 Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Love is all you need. Love is all you need.
Let's all join me in the prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. Claim the light. The love of God enfolds us. Claim the love. The power of God protects us. Claim the power. The presence of God watches over us. Claim the presence. Wherever we are, God is and all is well. Great and amazing week, everybody. Thank you. Leave the chairs on the floor, please.